Before you panic at a warning light or book an appointment, know that many Porsche annoyances are just electronic glitches you can reset yourself at home, for free. Mechanics use these tricks daily with no special tools. So today I am walking you through 5 reset methods that clear common faults for free, and number 1 is the master reset that fixes more than any other. One honest warning, a reset clears glitches, but a light that keeps returning is a real fault needing diagnosis. Let us get into it. Number 5. The first method is recalibrating your tire pressure monitoring system, because a stubborn tire pressure warning is one of the most common and most needless reasons people worry about their Porsche. Here's what actually happens. When you adjust your pressures, rotate your tires, swap to a winter set, or simply drive in a big temperature change, the system can get confused and light up a warning even though nothing is actually wrong. Most owners see that orange symbol and immediately assume a puncture or an expensive sensor failure, when in reality the system just needs to be told the current state of things and asked to relearn. The method is completely free and takes only a couple of minutes. First, you set every tire to the correct pressure exactly as specified for your car. And it is worth doing this properly with a good gauge when the tires are cold, because the whole point is to give the system an accurate baseline. Then, using the onboard menu on most modern Porsches, you find the tire pressure section and select the option to store or confirm the new pressures, which tells the system that this is now the correct reference. On some models, the relearn simply happens automatically after you drive for a short distance at a steady speed, letting the sensors report in and the system settle. Either way, once it is relearned, that nagging warning disappears, and you have saved yourself a needless trip and the cost of someone else pressing a few buttons for you. The key thing to understand is why this works. Because the system is not broken, it has simply lost its reference point, and giving it a correct one is all it needs. Of course, if the warning returns quickly after a proper reset, then you genuinely may have a slow leak or a failing sensor, and that is your cue to investigate rather than to keep resetting it. But 9 times out of 10, a calm, correct recalibration is all it takes to make that light go away for good. There are a few common mistakes worth avoiding because they are exactly why people think the reset did not work. The first is setting the pressures while the tires are hot, which gives a falsely high reading and leaves you underinflated once they cool, so always aim to set them cold or account properly for the difference. The second is forgetting the spare or a staggered setup, because Porsches often run different pressures front to rear, and setting them all the same is a classic error that leaves the system unhappy. The third is not driving far enough for an automatic relearn to complete, since some systems need a sustained run at a steady speed before the sensors have all reported in and the warning clears. It also helps to understand the 2 broad types of system, because some Porsches use direct sensors inside each wheel that measure actual pressure, while others infer it from wheel speed data, and the relearn step can differ slightly between them, which is another reason to confirm the exact procedure for your specific car and year. Keep a decent digital gauge in the glove box, get into the habit of checking pressures every couple of weeks, and you will not only clear the warning, you will also catch genuine slow leaks early, run the correct pressures for better tire life and handling, and stop that orange light from ever surprising you again. Up next, a reset that clears the message nagging you after a service. Number 4. The second method is resetting the service or maintenance reminder, because that little wrench or service due message glowing on your dash is very often just a timer, not a fault. Here's the situation so many owners find themselves in. You have just had the oil changed or done it yourself, and yet the car still insists a service is due, flashing up its reminder every time you start it as though the work never happened. That is because the reminder is a simple interval counter, and unless it is manually reset, it has no idea the service was actually carried out, so it just keeps counting and nagging. The frustrating part is that some places will happily charge you to reset it, when it is a job you can very often do yourself for free from the driver's seat. The method involves using the buttons and menus in the instrument cluster, typically by cycling through the onboard computer to the service or maintenance section and then holding the appropriate button to confirm the reset, at which point the reminder clears and the counter starts fresh. The exact sequence varies between models and years, so the honest advice is to confirm the correct steps for your specific car before you start, rather than guessing and getting frustrated. Once you know it though, it becomes a 30-second job you can do every single time you service the car, and you never have to stare at that message again or pay someone to clear it. It is worth being clear about what this does and does not do, because resetting the reminder only tells the car that the service has been done. It does not perform any actual maintenance, so you only ever reset it after the work is genuinely complete. Used honestly, it is one of the most satisfying free resets there is, turning a persistent annoyance into a non-issue in seconds. There is a little more to understand here that makes it genuinely useful rather than just a party trick. Porsche servicing is often based on a combination of time and distance, and on some models, a condition-based system that estimates wear from how the car is actually driven, so the reminder is not arbitrary. It is tracking a real interval that you should still respect. Resetting it does not shorten that interval or hide anything important. It simply acknowledges that the due work has been completed and starts the clock again, which is exactly what a workshop does after they finish. The common mistake is resetting the wrong counter or only clearing the message temporarily, so it reappears at the next startup and convinces the owner that something is wrong, when in fact the confirmation step was never properly completed. That is why it pays to follow the correct sequence for your specific model carefully, and watch that the message genuinely clears and stays gone after a full restart. It is also worth keeping a simple record of when you reset it and at what mileage, because that log becomes your own reliable service history and stops you second-guessing when the next one is really due. Master this small routine, and you take full control of your own maintenance schedule, never paying anyone to press a button and never staring at a nagging wrench again. What comes next brings your windows back to life. Number 3. The third method is reinitializing your windows and sunroof, because one of the most alarming feeling quirks is when your one-touch and automatic functions suddenly stop working. This happens most often after a battery has gone flat or been disconnected, and the symptom is unmistakable. The window that used to glide all the way up or down with a single tap now only moves while you hold the switch, and the convenient automatic function seems to have vanished completely. Owners often fear an expensive electrical fault or a failed motor, when in reality the window has simply lost its memory and forgotten its upper and lower limits, along with the pinch protection calibration that lets it run automatically. The fix is a free reinitialization that teaches the window its positions again, and it takes moments. The general method, which varies a little by model, is to operate the switch to run the window fully in one direction and hold it briefly at the end of travel, then run it fully the other way and again hold it at the limit, which lets the system relearn exactly where fully open and fully closed are. Once it has recorded those endpoints, the automatic one-touch function springs straight back to life, and the same principle applies to a sunroof that has lost its automatic operation. It is genuinely satisfying to watch a feature you thought was broken simply start working again after a few seconds of teaching. The reason this is so worth knowing is that it is a classic example of a scary-seeming symptom with a completely free, simple cause, and understanding it saves you from a needless and potentially expensive trip. As always, confirm the exact procedure for your specific Porsche so you get the sequence right first time. And if the window still refuses to behave after a careful reinitialization, then and only then are you looking at something that may need a proper look. It is worth understanding why the car deliberately disables the automatic function in the first place, because it is not a bug, it is a safety feature. The automatic one-touch close relies on pinch protection, the system that stops and reverses the window if it detects an obstruction, like a finger. And when the window loses its calibration, the car sensibly refuses to run automatically until it has relearned exactly where the limits and the resistance points are. That is why simply holding the switch always still works, because that is the manual mode the car falls back to when it no longer trusts its own memory. Knowing this also tells you how to do the relearn properly, because the key is letting the window reach and briefly rest at each full limit so the system can record both the end stops and the effort needed along the way, which is what restores the safe automatic operation. A common mistake is rushing the process or releasing the switch a fraction too early, so the car never quite captures the endpoint and the automatic function stubbornly refuses to return, which makes people give up and assume a fault. Take it slowly, do each direction deliberately, and repeat it if it does not take the first time. The same logic applies to a sunroof, and once you have done it a couple of times, it becomes second nature, a completely free fix for a symptom that looks far more expensive than it is. Now, before we get to the two most powerful resets, a quick favor. If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Number 2. The fourth method is performing a throttle and idle adaptation relearn. Because if your Porsche is idling roughly, hesitating slightly, or feeling a little off after a battery disconnect or a throttle body clean, this is very often the cure. Here's the background, because your car's computer constantly learns and adapts to how the engine is behaving, building up a fine-tuned set of adjustments for a smooth, idle, and crisp response over time. When the battery is disconnected or the throttle body is cleaned, those learned values can be wiped or thrown off. And until the computer relearns them, the engine can feel lumpy at idle. hunt up and down, or respond slightly strangely, which understandably makes owners fear something serious. The reassuring truth is that in most cases, the engine simply needs to relearn its adaptations, and you can let it do exactly that for free. The general approach is to allow the car to complete a proper relearn cycle, which usually means starting the engine and letting it idle undisturbed until it is fully warmed up without touching the throttle, giving the computer time to settle the idle back to where it should be. After that, a period of gentle, varied driving lets it finish adapting across the rest of the range, and the rough running typically smooths itself out as it goes. It is important to be patient here, because this is not instant, and expecting perfection in the first 30 seconds is the mistake most people make before they give up and worry unnecessarily. Give it the time it needs, and the transformation can be remarkable, with a car that felt unwell returning to its normal, smooth self entirely on its own. The honest caveat, as always, is that if the rough idle stubbornly persists long after a full relearn and some sensible driving, then there may be a genuine underlying issue, such as a vacuum leak or a sensor problem, that deserves proper investigation. But before you assume the worst, giving the car the chance to relearn is a completely free first step that very often solves the problem entirely. It helps to picture what the computer is actually doing, because over thousands of miles it quietly builds a detailed map of small corrections, trimming the fuel and air just so, to keep the idle glass smooth and the throttle crisp as the engine ages and components wear in. Wipe that map with a battery disconnect and the engine is suddenly running on factory baseline values that no longer perfectly match its current condition, which is why a car that felt perfect can feel slightly unwell immediately after a reset or a clean. The relearn is simply the computer rebuilding that map, and the biggest mistake owners make is not giving it the calm, undisturbed conditions it needs. Blipping the throttle while it tries to settle, switching everything on and off, or driving aggressively straight away all interrupt the process and drag it out. So the best thing you can do is often the hardest, which is to leave it alone. Let it idle up to full temperature untouched, then drive it gently and normally through a range of speeds for a while, and let the adaptation quietly complete itself over the next few journeys. Done patiently, it is remarkable how a rough, hunting idle settles back into the smooth, refined tickover you expect, entirely for free and without a single part being replaced. And that leaves the single most powerful reset of them all. Number 1. The master method, the one that fixes more glitches than any other, is the full hard reset, performed by properly disconnecting the battery, and it is the closest thing your Porsche has to switching it off and on again. Modern Porsches are astonishingly complex, with dozens of computers all talking to each other, and just like any computer, they can occasionally get confused, throwing up phantom warning lights, odd electrical behavior, or glitches that have no real mechanical cause, especially after the battery has run low. A full hard reset forces every one of those modules to power down completely and start fresh, and it is genuinely astonishing how many mysterious, intermittent gremlins simply vanish once the whole system has been rebooted. The method is free but must be done properly and with care. You turn everything off, remove the key from the vicinity, and disconnect the battery, and here the detail matters, because you want to leave it disconnected for a number of minutes, not seconds, so that every module fully drains and truly resets rather than clinging to its confused state. While you wait, it is wise to note that you will lose stored settings like radio presets and the clock, and that some cars will require the window and sunroof reinitialization we already covered once power returns, so this method ties several of the others together. After the wait, you reconnect securely, start the car, and allow it a little time to bring all its systems back online before you drive off gently. More often than not, the phantom light or the strange behavior is simply gone, cleared away with the confused data that caused it. It is worth being completely honest about the limits of this though, because a hard reset clears glitches and stale data. It does not repair a genuine mechanical or electrical fault. So if a warning light returns after a proper reset, the car is telling you something real and it deserves a proper diagnosis rather than another reset. Used wisely, however, this single free method resolves an enormous share of the everyday electronic quirks that send people to the workshop, which is exactly why it earns the top spot. Master this one reset and you will fix problems for free that others would happily charge you a fortune to look at. A few details separate a proper hard reset from a useless one, and they are worth getting right. The order matters because you generally disconnect the negative terminal first and reconnect it last, which is the safe way to avoid accidental shorts. And you make sure everything is genuinely off and the key is well away from the car so no module is being kept awake. The waiting really is the crucial part, because a rushed 10-second disconnect often leaves capacitors holding just enough charge to preserve the very confused state you are trying to clear, whereas a patient wait of several minutes lets everything drain and truly reboot. It is also worth knowing what to expect afterwards, because beyond the radio presets and clock, some cars will briefly show a flurry of messages as modules wake and re-establish contact, and this can look alarming, but usually settles once everything is talking again, which is why you give the car a moment before driving. If your Porsche has any security or radio coding, make sure you have those details to hand before you start, so a flat battery does not become a locked radio. And because this reset can undo the window and steering adaptations, treat it as the moment to calmly redo those relearns as part of the same job. Do all of that, and the humble battery disconnect becomes the single most powerful free tool in your ownership arsenal, quietly clearing the gremlins that send other people to the dealer. The full hard reset takes number one, and it earned every single inch of that spot. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.